recording. Okay. So, and as I record this, I'm going to be recording it on speaker view. So that's what you're going to be seeing the most of. So let me double check that. Okay. So thank you for attending the OLLI at ISU, which stands for Osher Lifelong Learning Institute at Iowa State University. Learn about the Winter 2023 class event. This is a lifelong learning program for anyone who's 50 plus who enjoys learning. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Geraldine Logue and I'm the director. And so don't forget, like I said, to mute your microphone so there's no distractions. If for some reason you have to unmute and we need to mute you, we will do that. So like I said, this event's going to be recorded and we hope it'll be up on our website later today or tomorrow if you'd like to go back and listen to the presentations again. Before the instructors tell you a little bit about the course they will be offering, I'd like to introduce you to some representatives from 3 of our sponsors. So Linda and Bailey from Green Hills, let's have you go first.
Thank you, Geraldine, and welcome everyone. We're proud sponsors of OLLI. Excuse me, and we are hosting some at Green Hills. We're happy to have you come out and visit our campus. We do have some exciting news. We have a new video and Bailey is going to be sharing that with us. And you may notice she was Bailey Upton, now she's Bailey Sherburne. So we're congratulating her on her recent wedding. And Geraldine, do you have the video?
I do not.
Bailey's
got it.
Thumbs up. Here we go.
When we first started building Green Hills, it was 4 fourplexes out in our Woodview area. We've just expanded ever since, and now today we have fully about 220 residents, roughly anywhere between 150 and 160 staff members today. We really try to provide the services here so you never have to leave campus.
Salon services, we have a movie theater and a pool. We have a rehabilitation gym as well as a sensory garden. Just a lot of fun activities here for all of our residents to use.
In 22 years, I've had the opportunity to take advantage of many of them. And you mentioned dining, and I eat food, and I've used catering. I use the bistro. I use the grill. I go to cafes. My husband was in the healthcare center for a number of months, so I've been acquainted with the services in the healthcare center. I've used the bus for various activities. I really like Green Hills. I've lived here a long time, and Green Hills is really home. I have to give a shout out for the staff. The staff makes Green Hills the good place it is to live.
The total convenience, and I'm single, never married, no kids, and I know that living here, I would never really ever have to leave here. Food is available here, so medical care is available here. It's also the safest place I've ever lived. I would trust every resident here with the key to my place. I don't have to worry, where I used to live. I wouldn't trust the neighbors with empty milk bottles.
The differentiator about Green Hills is that we are a resident-owned community. All of the decisions that operationally that are for Green Hills are made by the people that live here.
You could be involved with the committee, be involved with having a say in how you lived. And so we knew we didn't want to move to another house-type situation. We wanted an apartment, and we wanted the continuum of care. We knew when we came here we wanted to be involved. We go to the continuing education classes, we go to the movies, exercise room. We take advantage of the exercise classes.
My favorite part about being at Green Hills is the residents and the staff that I get to lead every day.
Just getting acquainted with the people. That's what makes this community so rich, is the personalities of the people, experiences they've had. I'd say it's the people.
Our residents are so appreciative of our staff and so kind that I just enjoy spending time with them and seeing what their take on life is.
So thank you. We just wanted to share a little bit more about Green Hills. I will say the man who said he couldn't trust his neighbors with an empty milk bottle moved here from Washington, D.C. So I thought I'd clarify that.
Well, I don't know about all of you, but I saw several OLLI members in that video and some ISU retirees. So awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. So let's go to Steve Larson with Clarity Asset Management.
Hi, thanks, Geraldine. Welcome, everybody. As Geraldine mentioned, I'm Steve Larson. I'm Chief Financial Officer for Clarity Asset Management. We're a fee-only fiduciary financial planning and investment management firm. And our interest in supporting OLLI is long time, but one of our values as a company is promoting lifelong and life-wide learning, the length and breadth of life. And OLLI is such an excellent way to implement that value. Supporting its longevity is one of the things that we're interested in. And really glad to be able to be a sponsor and to help the classes and help its mission overall. As a firm, Geraldine, you mentioned you saw a lot of OLLI members. I did too, and I saw a lot of clients who are OLLI members. So I really appreciate everyone's involvement in that. But our desire is, our central mission is kind of taken out of an Old Testament passage in the prophet Jeremiah, where God is encouraging his people to seek the welfare or the benefit of the city in which they live. As the city prospers, that they as a people would prosper. And we've kind of taken that moniker on as a company, that if we can do something that helps enhance the life of people, it will enhance the life of our city, and that makes us successful. So any questions or needs you have related to finance, we'd be glad to be available at any time. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Steve. And we have a new sponsor, and that is Bethany Life. And so, Paige, we'd like to hear from you.
Hi, everyone. I see lots of familiar faces too. I am Paige Healy from Life Choices at Bethany. We are part of the home services department with Bethany Life. So Life Choices is a continuing care at home program. We have about 124 members within the Ames area, Ames, Story City, Roland, Boone, Nevada. We kind of stretch all over this area. But our goal is to keep our members in their homes for the rest of their lives. So we do that by providing like assisted living, home health services in your home as you need them, up to the cost of nursing home care. So our focuses are wellness, asset protection, and independence. We really enjoy OLLI too, and lots of our members are also members of OLLI because we promote wellness, not only physical activity and nutrition, but also that social and occupational wellness, and want our members to stay doing the things that they enjoy to do. So we have a personal trainer and dietitian on staff and focus a lot on physical wellness. We do social events every month with our members. And then, like I said, we provide that home health care in your own home up to the daily rate that it costs to take at a nursing home. And then if you would ever need nursing home care, that's paid 100% from day one. So really trying to protect your assets and keep you at home where you've worked so hard to be. And we love what we do, love taking care of our members, and want to keep you happy and healthy and independent.
Thank you, everyone. So we're really very happy for all of our sponsors who believe like we do in lifelong learning. And so thank you so much. And Paige with Life Choices is new for us right now. And so we're really excited to have them on board with us. So let's move forward on hearing from the instructors, and they'll go in numerical order as they appear in the course catalog. Each instructor has been asked to give a 90-second promo. I know 90 seconds doesn't sound like a lot of time, but it's plenty of time for them to do a brief promo for their course that will begin with their name, the number and the title of the course, the date and time the course will be held. And this is the basic information. I don't count that against them in their 90 seconds. So that's what they'll do. And I'm not going to call on each instructor. Instead, they will unmute their microphone as the instructor before them starts to speak, and then they will begin once the previous instructor is finished. We appreciate their assistance in making this event run smoothly, and we just have a few who are not with us today. So Heather and I, who is the OLLI program assistant, we will jump in and give basic information for those instructors who are not available. So another quick item here is we're going to do some questions at the end. So if you have questions, let's hold those all the way to the very end. If an instructor needs to leave, we understand that. So the other thing is, don't forget, online registration begins tomorrow at 8:30 on Friday, December the 9th. And so let's get started with class number 1 with Gail.
My name is Gail Prince. I'm the instructor for the number 1, which is food safety for seniors, which includes me. I'm just an old Iowa farm boy that happened to find my way to Ames and specialized in meat science with the idea that I was going to spend my career in the meat industry. But shortly after doing that, I had a visionary for a boss that says, we need to do something in food safety, and you're it. And it was Monday morning, and he said, you start today. And so for the last 55 years, I've been working in the field of food safety for a major company in the US in retailing and manufacturing, and worked with FDA and the other regulatory agencies. But on the class that I have put together, I looked at the Center of Disease Control stats, and it said that 1 out of 6 of us would experience a foodborne illness in the next year. And that many of these were caused by what we may do or not do in our home properly as related to food preparation and food storage. And so we want to talk about those issues, how to prevent them, and we'll talk about some of the basic sciences about food safety. We're not wanting to make scientists out of you, but to talk about those basics and then look at where we go from there as far as controls. We're going to cover everything from soup to nuts as it relates to food that will help you. And we'll also talk a little bit about your pet. That's a 9 a.m. class on Monday morning. And I know what 9 a.m. classes mean, but coffee, I was going to offer coffee, but I cannot find the free coffee button on my OLLI screen. So you'll have to bring your own. So I look forward to seeing your smiling faces on Monday morning, January 9 at 9 a.m. And we'll have a lot of fun with food safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail. This is Sam Wormley. I'm going to be teaching class number 2, Privacy When Using the Internet. It's a one-day course on Monday, January 9th, and the time is from 11 to 12:30. More than 3 decades ago, Tim Berners-Lee, you might know him from actually creating the protocol for the World Wide Web. Tim Berners-Lee created the World Wide Web, and quoting him from just a few years ago, he says, selling private citizens' browsing data is disgusting. We've become the product and not the customer. We're being stalked. There are dossiers on each of us: names, contact information, spending habits, income level, mortgages, and a whole lot more. This class will help you regain some privacy and anonymity while using the internet. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jane Cox, and this is class number 3, and it's from the golden age of musicals, Rodgers and Hammerstein. And it's 2 weeks, Monday, January 23rd, January 30th, from 11 to 12:30. Now, if you're anything like me, you look upon those last 2 weeks in January as some of the most dismal times of the year. So I decided that I would do something this time that maybe would make us all feel a little bit more cheerful. And so this is going to be 2 parts about Rogers and Hammerstein. And they were 2 very different kinds of men. And they'd worked with other people before they formed together as a team when they were in their 40s. And then they began to create wonderful, wonderful musicals together. So the first part will be about their lives up to the time that they first began to create together and make wonderful partners who brought out the best in each other. And the second part will study some of the musicals that they put together that are still, many of them, being performed all the time today. Now, I just want to read a quote from Hammerstein, Oscar Hammerstein, who said, "I know the world is full of troubles and many, many injustices, but reality is as beautiful as it is ugly. I think it is just as important to sing about beautiful mornings as it is to talk about the slums. I just couldn't write anything without hope in it." So we're going to look at some of those wonderful songs of hope and musicals of hope in those last 2 weeks of January. So I hope you'll join me then. Thank you.
Okay, class number 4, Crafting Brewing 101. Our instructor, Jerry Sout, is not able to be here today, and that will go for 1 week. And on Monday, January 23rd, from 1 to 2:30 p.m. Central Time. Class number 5, Max Rothschild is not able to be here with us also, and that is going to be the Bucket List Adventures, Gorilla Trekking, and the Galapagos Islands. It's a 1 week session on Monday, January the 30th, from 1 to 2:30 p.m. Central Time.
This is Diana Shanrock, and I'm doing class number 6. The title is really Food Writers, A History from Clementine Paddleford Forward. And I'm going to attempt to look at some of the newspaper and later magazine food editors and the kinds of things that they began to do. Clementine Paddleford was born in 1899 and was a graduate of Kansas State University and a food writer for the New York Herald for 30-some years. And I'm also going to talk about someone who wasn't named in my description because she sort of fit the category as I was working on getting the class ready, and that's Ruth Ellen Church, who was an Iowa State graduate and was the food editor at the Chicago Tribune for 35 years. And we'll kind of look at how they started, what they wrote about, how they looked at food and the food of their area, and got interested in the kind of ethnic foods that people eat, and what kinds of articles they wrote in those areas. Because we have hundreds of them now, and they're often not names, and they write for little food magazines with newspapers and so on. But these 2 women particularly spent between them over 70 years writing for 2 different newspapers in the food category and have produced some interesting writing. So that's my introduction to food writers.
Okay, the instructor for class number 7, Future Perfect, is Doug Stowell, and he's not able to be here today. His class will be a 1 week session. It's going to be on Tuesday, January the 10th, and it will be from 9 to 10:30 a.m. Central Time.
Hi, I'm Nancy Franz, and I hope that you will join me for course number 8, Discovering Story County Hiking Trails. It's a 1-day course from 9 to 10:30 a.m. on Tuesday, January. I did that too, Sam. June must be what we want to be right now. January 17th. I've served as a member of the Story County Conservation Board and also the Story County Trails Committee I'm a daily walker out there in our outdoor world. And so consider myself a trail aficionado and want to share with people who are like-minded or interested in getting started or advancing their walking and hiking. I'll be sharing a list of all of the trails, the public trails in our county, some information about the trail, the parking, the trail surface, the length of the trail, where to get more information. I'll also share some walking and hiking tips, some trail culture and ethics. There's kind of a whole community of interest there that's kind of fun to learn about. Some hiking resources and some things we can all do to advocate for the trails and walking paths in our lives. And I also hope that the people who join me that day will be willing to share some stories about their own trails and discoveries. And that we'll be able to even learn more about our local trails with each other. So thanks for listening and hope I see you then.
I am Jody Stumbo and I am course number 9, What Would Solve Homelessness? This course will take place on Tuesday, January 24th and Tuesday, January 31st, and the time is 9 to 10:30. In this course, we're going to explore a lot of topics, conceptions, misconceptions on what homelessness in our community is. Really going to be an interactive discussion, maybe doing some research to see what can we really do to solve homelessness. There's a concept around homelessness, and a discussion is often, is what we're doing helping or is it hurting? And that'll be a big component of this class, to really think about what are we doing and how is it helping? I'm really excited to hear everyone's thoughts and ideas. I think this is going to be a great course. I know that homelessness can sometimes be a subject that is very overwhelming and also can be not the happiest topic. And I think this course is going to give us all a new perspective in, okay, but what can we really do to help our neighbors and our community that's going to make a difference for them? So thank you, everyone. And I hope to see you in January.
Thank you. This is Sam Wormley. I'm going to be teaching class number 10, Understanding Global Climate Change. This will be over 4 weeks on Tuesdays from January 10th to January 31st, and the time will be from 11 to 12:30 Central Time. Understanding Global Climate Change provides an overview of what climatologists have learned about our changing climate. We avoid the political rhetoric and look at what the science says. The goal is for each of us to better understand what is happening to the climate, why, and how we will live with the changes, and what we can do to help. The topics covered will be the greenhouse gas effect, ocean acidification and ocean temperature, the effects of warming, and what can you and what can we do together to improve our lives and our communities around us. Thank you.
Well, hello. My name is Brian McCursey, and greetings from Jacksonville, Florida. I'm going to be offering a course number 11, which is entitled Gene Editing Will Change the Food That We Eat. The course is 4 weeks long. It begins on Tuesday, January 10th, from 11 till 12:30. Now, some of the new and fairly highly desirable food products will soon begin to appear on our grocery shelves. These have been developed with a technology called CRISPR gene editing. Now, I'll explain the technical details of CRISPR in this course and how it changes the genetic information in DNA. And I'll briefly touch on how this is being applied in clinical trials to treat inherited genetic disorders in humans, such as sickle cell, and even being used to treat cancer. But the focus of the course is how CRISPR is being used in plant breeding to improve the sustainability of our food production and to improve the nutritional value of fruits and vegetables. Now, gene-edited food is different than GMO food, and it's going to be regulated differently in the United States than GMO food. But it may become just as controversial if consumers such as yourselves don't understand the technology or don't trust the regulatory system. And I'll be trying to address those issues in the course. And I look forward to seeing you in January. Thank you for your attention.
And my name is Mike Metz, and we will be discussing the number 12 class, Volunteer Community Radio, Learn to Produce Your Own program. That will be on Tuesdays from 3 to 4:30. It will be a 2-week session starting on January 10th.
Welcome to KHOI FM, where we explore people, stories, places, and events of our Central Iowa community. Thank you for tuning in. I am Pat Schlarbaum, your host for this segment, along with Mike Metz. Station manager Mike Murphy is keeping a warm glow on the transmitter vacuum tubes, while KHOI's Eric B. manages the station's daily operations. Mike, please tell us, our listeners, what's involved in producing a radio broadcast for a voluntary-driven, nonprofit community radio station.
Well, Pat, there are a number of things that are involved in the production of a successful program, and since our time is short, it's best to sign up for the OLLI class number 12 and to learn firsthand from our staff.
Mike, please describe some of those areas of community radio that will be covered.
Well, we'll learn about the history of community radio and also the history of KHOI here in Ames, and cover some general rules, regulations, and legal aspects that are regulated by the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission.
What are some of the facets of production that will be covered?
Well, areas include, we'll be following up on a leader's story, and then interview basics and computer editing techniques.
Please consider signing up for OLLI class number 12. It might just be that doorway to experience a new adventure and provide you with the opportunity to share your talents with your community. KHOI's mission is building community through communication. See you again on the radio.
Well, I'm still Jane Cox, and this is class number 13. And this is from I Get a Kick Out of You to An American in Paris. And this will meet 2 weeks on Tuesday, January 24th and January 31st from 3 o'clock to 4:30. And so this deals with Cole Porter and George Gershwin. And Cole Porter wrote, "I'm just a hardworking boy from Indiana, and I'm in the business of entertaining myself, which enables me as much as I can to entertain the world." And he wrote both lyrics and music to a number of wonderful, sophisticated, urbane pieces that were produced on Broadway and are still produced. And he was right on the edge of being censored lots of the time. Maybe you've heard the song, "Birds do it, bees do it, even educated fleas do it. Let's do it, let's fall in love." That last line was changed. Even way back when he wrote it from the original. And then we'll also look at George Gershwin. And he was somebody Irving Berlin called, of all the songwriters, the only one who was a composer, who earned the title of composer, because he not only wrote popular music, but he wrote musical in the classical style. He wrote Rhapsody in Blue. He wrote an opera, Porgy and Bess. He wrote a concerto, and he explored all sorts of different kinds of music to fantastic effects. So both of these creative geniuses still live and through their work. And so we'll have a look at those last 2 weeks in January, from I Get a Kick Out of You to An American in Paris. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. And Brian Walter, who will be teaching class number 14, Technology in Agriculture, was not able to be with us today. His course will be 1 week on Tuesday, January 10th from 5:30 to 7 p.m.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou Nosco. I will be teaching class number 15, which is beginning Native American style flute. It is offered on Wednesdays at 9 to 10:30. So this is the John Norris Native American style flute. This is what we will be using. I'm just going to run up a scale and play a real
Mary Lou, you became muted.
Okay, run up the scale for you. So they say that the Native American flute connects directly to our souls. So if that playing somehow spoke to you, then this beginning flute class is for you. Absolutely no musical background is necessary for this class. You do not need to know how to read music, as we will be using finger charts. I will be teaching using the oral tradition method, using both finger charts, and you will be able to see my finger placement on the flute. Zoom is actually a really great platform for learning to play the Native American style flute. Only one sound can be heard at a time, and that will generally be me. You will be muted and able to play along. The great thing about this is that all 5 of our notes and the octave are harmonized with one another. So even if either one of us plays a wrong note, it is going to sound beautiful. There will be plenty of time for questions and to check on how each student is progressing. And by using an ebook, you'll be able to continue your journey after the class ends. I hope to see you in beginning Native American style flute. Thank you.
This is Sam Wormley. I'm going to be teaching class number 16, Managing Your Digital Stuff. This class lasts 4 weeks. It's taught on Wednesdays from January 11 through February 1. The course time is from 11 to 12:30 Central Time. Email, photos, videos, podcasts, applications, etc. can quickly get out of hand and become overwhelming. This class provides guidelines, good practices, and tips so that you can stay on top of those things that accumulate on your smartphones, your tablets, and your computers. It goes without saying that when you are connected to the internet, we need to pay attention to security and privacy, but we should also practice good digital housekeeping to reduce stress, increase efficiency, and simplify our lives. Thank you.
Mike Coview, are you with us?
Yep. I'm Mike Coview. I'm sorry I lost my connection earlier. I will be teaching course number 17, Politics of Numbers. The course will be offered on 4 Wednesdays, starting January 11th and running through February 1st from 1 to 2:30 p.m. As indicated in the course description, we, that is Americans, have a love-hate relationship with numbers. A cynic would suggest this consists of loving numbers which support our point of view and hating those which contradict what we believe. But I'd suggest that our relationship with numbers is a little more nuanced than that. We will start with asking you to imagine our lives without numbers. I suspect you might find this even more challenging than managing a world without anybody having the ability to read or write. After that, we'll discuss whether or not we are enumerate. That is, whether we understand numbers and use them appropriately. This starts with considering what we mean by the terms numerate and numeracy and how these terms relate to literate and literacy. Putting this in historical context, we'll consider the importance of numeracy in promoting political and economic development, including especially the effects of increasingly sophisticated measurement techniques for such things as establishing clear definitions of real property through surveying techniques for navigation on the seas and in the air, and for things like precise measurement of weights and volumes. Finally, we'll talk about what is the most politically contentious effort at counting in our country, the decennial census.
Hi, I'm Colleen Schwartz, and I'm teaching course number 18, Meditation Foundations. It's a 3-week course on Wednesdays, starting January 18th and finishing out February 1st from 3 to 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm delighted to be back with you all, back teaching OLLI's meditation online course. It's a really great way to start off 2023. The practice of primordial sound meditation. It's a mantra-based meditation brought to us by wellness expert Deepak Chopra, MD, and it's really easy to learn. But yet it really provides profound benefits for our physical, emotional, and spiritual health. Meditation, it's an effective way to release stress, to get more restful sleep, and to really enjoy greater energy and overall well-being. You'll learn about and hopefully experience as the course unfolds all these things. During the course, you will discover the ultimate purpose of meditation, and well, it's actually to awaken our true self or your true self, explore the latest scientific research showing the benefits in your physical and mental well-being through meditation. You'll receive your own personal mantra based on your time and place of birth. You'll establish a daily meditation practice. You'll learn about the origins of primordial sound meditation and how the different types of meditation are similar and sometimes different. But really, together, you'll receive support, encouragement, and practical guidance as you develop your own meditation practice. So this is a glimpse of what lies ahead for you, and as you start your path, and let's have fun and begin the journey.
Thank you, Colleen. This is Sam Wormley. I'm going to be teaching class number 19, Home Computer Security. This is a 4-week class on Thursdays from January 12th to the 2nd of February. The course time is early in the morning, 9 to 10:30 a.m. Central Time. Problems continue to be found in hardware, operating systems, software applications, networks, and technology. There's an ongoing battle between the good guys finding and fixing the problems and the bad guys finding and exploiting the problems. Your role is important in this ongoing drama. This course is designed to make you aware of the threats, teach you safe practices, and give you the resources to check and secure your computers and home networks. This material is suitable for all kinds of computers and mobile devices, phones, and tablets. Thank you.
Hi to all. My name is Mobid Goli. Thank you for invitation and good to be with all of you guys. I will be offering course number 20, US and Iran relations, 11 to 12:30 p.m. Thursday, starting January 12th. And all right, these presentations are actually, during this presentation, I will try to make the complex issue of understandable as much as possible. These are the area that will be covered. US early missionary works in Persia or Iran, Iran Qajar dynasty and colonial powers in Iran, and why Iran was so interested to have US as a friend during this time, beginning of US and Iran formal relationship in 1851, Iran constitutional revolution and US in 1905, First World War, Pahlavi dynasty, World War II, nationalization of Iran oil industry, the 1953 coup, post-coup cooperation between Iran and United States, Cold War, and why Iran becomes centerpiece of US Middle East policy. Iran 1979 revolution, Iran hostage crisis, Iran-Iraq war, Iran-Contra affair, Iran nuclear agreement, and recent tension between US and Iran. Thank you. See you all.
Hi, I'm Bob Bourne. I'm teaching class number 21, Electric Railways of Iowa. It's going to be on January 19th and 26th. I had to move it back a week, I think, from the original schedule. We're going to talk about the electric railways from about 1890 to their end in about 1955. So we'll compress 65 years into 2.5-hour sessions. The first part will be about the interurban railroads that connected a lot of major cities in Iowa, such as the Fort Dodge, Des Moines, and Southern, that ran from Fort Dodge to Ames and Des Moines, and then the railroads from Waterloo to Cedar Rapids to Iowa City, and large railroads, and then small railroads like the Tama and Toledo Railroad. The second part of the class will be about the streetcars in Iowa, and that'll include a brief overview of most of the cities that had streetcars, and even a few that had horse cars and steam engines and all kinds of things like that. Pretty interesting history. We'll also talk a little bit about the freight railroads that ran, the electric railroads that provided freight service. Some were exclusively passenger. Most of them in Iowa had some freight service on them. And I'll be 95% accurate. There's always someone has a question that'll stump me. I know most of them, but not all of them. And we'll also have a few interest stories on a few anecdotes from people that wrote about in that era. So it's January 19th and 26th from 1 p.m. to 2:30.
Thank you, Bob. Hi, I'm Anna McCracken, founder of the Ames Writers Collective. My course is number 22, Writing Junk is Good for Writing, January 12th from 3 to 5 p.m. Have you ever thought you'd like to be a writer? Or someone has commented over Thanksgiving dinner, your stories are so funny, you should write them down. And you think, I should write my memoir. Regardless of your musings, I believe everyone can be a writer. We all have stories, but to tell our stories, we need to practice writing, which can be simple. Most of the classes I teach are based on the Amherst Writers and Artists Method, a philosophy that believes that everyone is a writer. In this one-day session, we'll discuss ways to practice writing, and with writing prompts, we'll discuss what it means to write your memoir. Your family doesn't want all the minute details. They want life snippets, which when woven together presents your life story. We'll write to a writing prompt, and afterwards, brave writers will be invited to read their story to the group. Additionally, I will give an overview of the Ames Writers Collective and how we are serving writers in Central Iowa and reaching out to writers in the Ames community. So dip your toe into writing and join me for Writing Junk is Good for Writing, course number 22 on January 12th from 3 to 5 p.m. Thank you. Take it away, James.
Thank you, Anna. Actually, James was not able to be with us today. He will be teaching class number 23. James Wiggin will be teaching Looking for More Income from Your Investments. The class is a one-day class offered on Thursday, January 19th from 3 to 4:30 p.m. And Geraldine, that wraps it up.
Gotta mute myself here. So yes, we are done. Thank you all. As you can see, we've got some wonderful, wonderful presenters and some topics. So I'm sure that hearing you, everyone is going to be signing up for almost all of them. So I'm really looking forward to these registrations starting up tomorrow. And so, Heather will be very busy. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to change my view to gallery view. And if you would like to stay to ask one of the presenters a question, you're welcome to do that. If you need to leave, we understand that too. So thank you again. And I will stay on as long as people have questions to ask. So thank you.
Geraldine, I would say you could make a note about the lecture. We're having a winter lecture on January 11th.
Actually, we're having two memory lectures.
Okay.
Yep. So let me grab that real quick. We will have January the 11th will be Wilhelm's Way, the inspiring story of the Iowa chemist who saved the Manhattan Project. And that is from 3 to 4:30. And then we have another lecture on February the 2nd, Only Hope, My Mother and the Holocaust Brought to Light. Both of these are members only lectures, which means there is no cost to you as a member. There's no registration, you just show up. And so both of these folks are going to be outstanding presenters. So, and they'll all be online, just as all of the winter classes are online. So good point, Leroy, thank you.
I hate to miss them.
I know. So those of you who have taken classes in the past before know that when classes are in session, the week before classes begin, you'll get an email from me, message telling you which classes will be starting the next week and any other events that are happening. Also, if, for example, if we have any retirees programs that you can be invited to, that information will be there also. So every Friday, you want to check your email from me starting the week before classes start, because there might be some fun things in there for you to do.
Thank you. Oh, Sam?
Yes?
Sam, I have a question. So about 4 years ago, I took a course on climate change from you. I'm curious how this course this year might differ.
Well, the basic science of climate change, like the greenhouse gas effect, does not change, but we get more and more data every year reinforcing that. And the climate is changing quickly. If you haven't noticed, it is. And one of the things that changes most in this course is in the 4th week, the uplifting week, where we find out what we can do in our own communities, our own neighborhoods to make a difference. And the opportunities are certainly changing year by year. And I hope that gives you an idea of what stays the same and what's changing all the time as it gets reflected in this class.
Thank you.
I have a question for Mike, Radio KHOI, and I guess Sam, I guess you introduced him, but this is sort of an introduction class. Will you guys start teaching how to produce a show or the basics, so that, because when I lived in Palo Alto, California, our community radio station actually had classes at the station.
Yeah, this is a 2-week introductory class. And the idea is that if we have folks that are really interested, you'll get to produce your own program and or help out and maybe become part of the fold.
So you'll give the basics, and then if we want more information, then we can figure that out with you, correct?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
As you know, I've been on a lot this year, so.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Anna.
Thanks.
Okay, we have some questions in the chat. One person says, hi, Geraldine, a couple questions for you. One, how can we find out if our OLLI membership is current? Just send me an email, or you can send one to Heather. We'll double check that for you. The second one is, if a course is recorded and we need to miss a class, can we view it later? Each class, we have some different stipulations on those. So if you're in a specific class and you want to know, just check in with us and we'll let you know. And then let's see, from Wendy, how do we acquire the flute? Good question, Wendy. Those will be ordered through Mary Lou. Then what we'll probably do is what we've kind of done in the past is we'll do a drive-by at the Alumni Association, that circle drive up there in the front, and we will have those available for you to pick up. And then
that's a drive-by flute
this week. Yes, drive-by flutes. What can we say?
Oh, awesome. And so as you probably read in the information, you need to pay Mary Lou for the flute and for the songbook. So that's that. And then Kathy had a question. She said, you use the word retirees a lot. ISU retirees, I imagine, but these classes are open to ISU alum as well, correct? Absolutely. OLLI classes are open to any person 50 plus. You don't have to be an alum. You don't have to be ISU retiree. The only thing you have to do is be 50 plus and you love to learn, and you pay your $25 annual membership fee. course.
And I'd like to add to that that Geraldine doesn't check the age on your driver's license.
I do not. I do not card you at the door. Those were good questions. Anything else? I'm really excited by this winter session.
I'd just like to congratulate Sam for using 2 backdrops when he moved from from talking about computers to climate change.
I know.
You had that all thought out.
I would like to just comment on Mary Lou's class. I'm a graduate of 2 of her classes, and she continues to add all the time to what goes on. So I would encourage that. It's a lot of fun.
Geraldine.
Yes.
I mentioned something about ISU retirees. Anybody, you don't have to be a member of ISU retirees to attend our lectures. And those, Geraldine mentioned that she would put those in her notes also, but there's no membership for that.
Correct. And that's why we always include all of you on those, because, you know, they just want folks to come and hear the programs. So, yeah. So that's why we'll put that out there for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sedalia. And if you all didn't know, Sedalia's on the program committee.
Yeah.
for the retirees. So yeah. Any other questions? Lots of good questions you've asked. Some really good questions. So has everybody got their classes picked out already?
How many classes I've picked? Now I have to figure out if any of how many fit in a schedule.
There you go. That's the key right there. Will it fit in the schedule?
And when you'll eat.
Yes.
Okay.
I can always eat during a class, so that doesn't bother the schedule.
Except during food safety class.
Oh, poo.
Food class, you can't
I can find something to
class.
eat safely while I do food safety.
I can tell you that Gail did this course. Oh, it's been a few years ago. Excellent course. I learned a lot. And when I took, you know, I was only listening, but it really made me go back and look in all my cupboards. It made me look at my refrigerator. It made me look in my freezer. And it's like, And I have to tell you, Gail's going to tell you, there's no such thing as a 3-second rule. So just saying. So if it hits the floor, it hits the floor. It goes to the garbage. So. So anything else? Lots and lots of good classes, everybody. Lots of good ones.
Amen.
Yes. And if you can't find one, call me. I'll help you find one.
Or me, I'll help you find one.
You know, I'd like to point out that there can be a blizzard outside, a howling wind. You don't have to worry about ice and snow and parking and slipping on the ice. Thank you, Geraldine.
We'll all have our cups of cocoa or hot tea, and maybe our bunny slippers on, you know. So there you go.
And I love my window in my office because I can watch the weather go by and not have to interact with it.
That's right. That's correct.
I think we need a free coffee button on the.
Good idea, Gail.
We'll see if we can get that programmed. I'll work on that.
Or hot cocoa. That would be good.
There we go.
Don't make it too complicated.
I'll send you the scone recipe and you can make some ahead of time.
Oh, okay.
And just so everybody knows, when classes are in session, I will open up the room and about 15 minutes before class begins, so that you have time to come in, say hello to folks, get prepared. And this also gives the presenters time to come in, maybe test their PowerPoint if they want, and get started. And then there will be a break about halfway through. So everybody needs to get up, stand, stretch a little bit, and then just make sure that you give the instructors their time for a quick break, because they've been talking the entire time and they need just a little bit of a break. So make sure you get that to them. And then we'll just
Well, and this is a new thing for me, Geraldine, teaching at the end of the day instead of at the beginning of the day. So I think maybe on that break, you might want to go get a libation as opposed to
well, I can tell you, Diana, that I do not check anybody's refreshments in their mugs.
Okay.
Nope.
Let me
Whatever
ask
you
you
have in
this
there is
question.
fine with me.
Let me ask you this question, please.
Yeah.
I think that 15 minutes really is nice because we could have QA session. And do we have this flexibility for end of the session?
The end of the session is pretty tight because there might be another one coming after you.
Okay.
We'll see about that. Normally the break is maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
A quick 5-minute break because you know there's
that's good.
We don't have to wait in line for the bathroom. We don't have to wait in line for the coffee.
Yes.
You know.
No, I like
so,
this. Yeah. I like this 15 minutes early because I encourage them during that time to have QA.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
Yep. And I really like folks to come in early and just take some time to visit.
Right.
And, you know, a lot of times, and that's a really fun way to get to know each other, to get to know the instructors.
Right.
Well, and sometimes if I find out why people decided to register for the class, then I kind of can use that to form what I might say in the next session.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time.
Jim Cornett have a question.
Jim Cornett?
I saw one. He wants to know where you can get the list of courses.
Oh.
You're the best to tell it.
I'm sorry. I missed that. I didn't even look over there. Sorry, Jim. Jim, it is at the OLLI website.
It's posted already, yes.
You can get those there. And Jim, I will just send you the link to that. All right. I'm going to make a note and send you a link.
Good. Thank you.
How are you doing?
Norma,
I
hi.
like your shirt, Jim.
Okay.
Hi,
And
Jim.
then Mary Lou also put a link in there to the course catalog. So if anybody sees that in the chat,
yeah,
you can click directly on that link also. Excellent. Thank you, Mary Lou, for doing that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Well, Jim, it's good to see you again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
Excellent. All right.
I'm going to repeat what I said before. I like your plaid shirt.
Oh, do you? It's warm.
Yes.
And then there's mine.
Yes, I like yours too.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Stay warm. We'll see you shortly. We'll get online tomorrow.
See you in January.
Yeah.
Next year.
All right. Take care.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
yes, and I saw that too, so I wasn't, that's great. I had one quick question though. It said there's some falsifications in several arteries, and I couldn't understand how you could have falsifications.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to end the meeting for everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.